Before we start into work session, I wanted to let everybody know that you're all off the hook except Karen, who so kindly volunteered to be our P&P and exam review committee liaison. So the rest of you slackers are off the hook, and Karen will be it. So thank you, Karen, very much. It's a good
Yes.
group. You'll love it.
Well,
Okay.
I would have volunteered. I would have volunteered, but you guys don't want a non-doctor on it. So otherwise, I would have. I was thinking
You're
about it.
you're so self-sacrificing, Lori.
Mhm.
Oh my.
man. Okay. All right, work session. CA
So
initial training guidelines.
yeah, so you see the first three are CA, very much CA related. And so Heather and Craig have been working on also the CA, essentially the training guide. Right, guys? Is that the
Study
training
guide.
guide or study guide? Thank you. Goodness. Too many things. The study guide, which everyone reviewed for the last couple of years, we were having issues with getting photos and the like. And so we just got access to DAS has stock photos that we are able to use. And so we had that for essentially, go ahead, Michelle.
So the photos that I gathered and sent in before to someone who no longer works here, like never made it into the thing.
So
No,
I took photos in my clinic, and
Yeah, no, we have those. We have those.
Okay.
There's other photos like muscles and anatomy and all those
Wait,
that
Craig, can you put
yeah.
your camera on? Sorry, you're talking, but we can't see you.
That's okay. It's better that way. I gotta put my glass of wine down now. But yeah, we do have a lot of those pictures. It's just a matter, and we did put it together. A lot of those pictures on there. We just had to make it match. And so most of the stuff we're doing is kind of making things that flow in the right way, put them alphabetized, the formatting, and then just making sure the language and stuff is kind of matching. And we're really shortening it up because some of it was just very verbose. So we just got rid of a lot of things that were just not CA I won't say worthy, but too complicated for CA and stuff like that. So we're getting close though. We are really close. And one of the things that we looked at with the stock photos, there are anatomy pictures, and I found one that had a lot of the muscles that were listed, and I figure we just get one picture up there instead of putting multiple pictures, that might be suffice. Take up less space and stuff. So I just gotta find that one again. I don't know. I saw it once and it disappeared, so maybe it's no longer available. I don't know. But that's where we are.
Okay,
I
and I go ahead,
go
Heather.
ahead. Sorry. I was going to say, I was thinking we could, since it'll be a PDF, that we can also add, there's a Zygote body, I believe, through Google, that we could add a link where it's interactive. You can turn the body, you can focus in on just certain muscles or just certain systems, things like that, that as a helpful thing. As long as that doesn't go against any kind of rules or anything. Um, and then the therapies, we're redoing the whole therapy part so that it's not listed as heat therapy and things like that. If you remember when we were at in Ashland in November a couple years ago, the board gave me an internal document. We constructed it of what constitutes physiotherapy, what constitutes electro, and what constitutes hydro. And so I took that list and breaking that down so that physiotherapy is a section header, and then all of the physiotherapy options. Then you have electrotherapy and the options, so that it's less confusing when they go to do their hands-on training.
That's awesome. And I know previously the board had voted that once this was finalized, we can just post it. But since it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of revisions to the language and such, I would like to have the board do one final review in October
Mhm.
before we go live with it. So if we can get it to October's meeting, that would be fantastic.
I think that's doable.
Okay, great.
Yay.
Yeah, really good. Okay, so on to the training guideline review. So Krista, if you want to bring that up.
Is that the training resource one, or is that the one we just went over?
The
Is it
initial
this
training.
one?
The guidelines for the supervising DC, is that what you mean, Cass?
Which,
I'm just looking at 11A. I don't know how to look in the material.
training guidelines reviews? Oh, I have that up. This one.
Are you
right?
sharing?
Am I sharing my screen?
You're not. No,
No, that would be
So-
a little bit helpful.
you're just talking.
It's falling apart at this point. Okay. This, right?
Yes.
If you want to zoom in for us, so we're not squinting
Yeah.
at it. Okay. Is there any changes, any additions, anything needs to change on this?
Oh, sorry.
We've basically taken the old guidelines and just copied them over. So one of the questions I kind of have looking at this is that in the second paragraph, the reading the study guide does not count as part of the initial training. And I don't know if that should be correct or not, since that's, I don't know, where they're going to get their information through some of the 8 hours training, if the DC is training them.
I think that was part of, I think back in the day, there was abuse of that, where people would say, oh, well, I spent 6 hours reading the training manual. And yeah, that's what that was for.
I didn't see any issues that popped up when I reviewed it.
So if
And they
no,
have to, oh, sorry.
go ahead, Lori.
Oh, they have to submit the training log. Is that obvious? Supervising verification 4A, they have to, the supervising and CA have to attest to completion of the training by signing. Do we have to put and submit it to us, or I just know where's that at the top?
Yeah, I'd say it's right above the training requirements that needs to be submitted within 60 days.
No, I just meant like procedural wise. They'll say, well, we did it and it's sitting here in my drawer in my office. I didn't know I had to submit it. It doesn't say. Oh, but maybe it
Well,
does.
under documentation, use the attached log to track the training and for submission with the CA application. You mean something like that?
Oh, there we go. Thank you. Yep, I was just like, I couldn't find it.
You
and
hadn't
so-
quite gotten there, Lori. You were
Thank
almost
you.
there at the end.
You read the end, but not the in between now. So many
Fire me.
words.
Fire me.
So many words.
Should there be punctuation at the end of 3A, B, C?
Yes.
See, I lied earlier when I said nothing popped out at me. That didn't pop out at me last night, but it did today.
Like, what do you want there?
They're
You
just
want-
periods.
Exclamation.
Just
Exclamation. Comic Sans.
A bolded one, please.
Semicolons. Cass is the punctuation expert.
Team Oxford, comma, forever. Mhm. And I double space after sentence or periods. So, uh-huh.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's when I knew this board thing was gonna work out for me, when I heard that, Cass.
It's called illegal
It's like
writing. I have to
Right
double
there
space.
with you.
Uh-huh. Those of us of a certain generation, I apparently. Yes. So, anything else? Any other changes?
Looks good to me.
All right, could we get a vote on it?
I will make a motion to accept the CA applicant initial training guidelines as amended.
Second.
Oh, I heard Corey.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, Karen,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Corey,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
I for myself, motion carries. All right, training resources.
is this not the training resources?
You
Oh,
are
you
correct.
got it.
No, you're good.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So this is just updating the links, updating things that the search terms, making sure everything was aligned. And on letterhead, right? Right, Heather? This wasn't
Yes.
happened to just be some random document
Yep.
before. Yeah. I love progress. I love, letterhead. I love Times New Roman.
Why is this in Palatino linotype? Krista.
Oh.
So you
Hypothetical.
do have the phone numbers different. You got dots, and then you have didn't I see something with the
There's a hyphen. There's a
Hyphen?
hyphen in the
Oh,
first one for
yes.
UWS.
there? Okay. I was like, I saw a hyphen somewhere.
Where, oh, here, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, Heather. Sheesh.
I'm blaming Krista somehow.
I don't know. I haven't really seen this thing till today. Obviously, I'm very confused on what we're looking at.
Micah,
You're right at it. Should we have an email for UWS?
I couldn't find one, like a good common one.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's kind of hard with folks going in and out of UWS, so I think just leave it at the website.
And I was also trying to find a phone number for Cairo Credit and could not come up with one.
I don't think you can call them. Micah, did you have something?
Oh, I accidentally pressed the hand. No, I don't. Sorry.
Oh,
Also at the very bottom, that last sentence there, you can search for chiropractic training near me. I think it's like in a box or something. Should the training, is that supposed to be on a second line like that?
I
It's
think
like
it's
part
supposed
of
to
the
be
columns.
columns.
Oh, column. That's what I meant. I'm like, is it supposed to be in a column like that?
you take it out of the table.
If you can unformat it, from the column to plain.
You could also maybe put
Put
it
it at
up
top.
above
Mhm.
in that first sentence, after the first sentence.
Yep.
If it won't do what you want it to do.
Yep. Yeah, you could just, I mean, like Michelle was saying, just right at the first sentence, make it the second sentence before the CA initial training comes in. Other than that, somebody feel motiony?
I move that we accept the OBCE chiropractic assistant initial training resources as amended.
Second.
We have a motion and a
Scott.
second. Any further discussion? All right, Karen,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Corey,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
I for myself, motion carries.
All
All
right,
right.
training log. You mean this isn't in Comic Sans, Heather? Whatever it was, what was it? It was something really strange.
I think it was like, I don't
It
know
was-
why this one's in Times New Roman and the other one was in that Palantino. That
Oh.
annoys me. Now.
I don't know.
Variety is the spice of life, you guys. So I like New Courier myself.
No.
All right.
And we
Any
have
changes?
and we have the what's it called? Initial training syllabus that does exist, right?
Yeah,
That
we
will
looked-
be brought back after the study guide.
Okay.
But there is one available that explains everything.
Okay. I
So
just couldn't
in the-
remember when I saw that. I was like, I can't. Is
In
it
the
supposed to
first-
have a capital F in that sentence? Reminder, colon, follow? I don't know. Just kind of looks.
It's emphasizing them to follow.
Should we underline it?
And bold.
And
And
bold.
italicized.
All caps.
All of
I have a question though. The old log had total hours on the bottom. Do you not want them to do that?
Yep.
You want to make yourself math that?
I
Good
Nope.
I
point.
mean, unless they have a math major, you know.
It's up to
Don't
you.
you-
I mean,
Don't you calculate it anyway, Heather?
I do, but it is a good
Yeah.
idea to have the total hours down there. So that is a
Oh.
good idea. We can add that edit and then I can, I'll do it.
Wait, but shouldn't the total just be 12?
It should, but sometimes they'll go over or they won't have 12. Or they math it wrong.
So that's really there just for the applicant's assistance, because you double check math anyway.
Mhm.
So.
Again, I feel like an idiot making recommendations about punctuation, but in the first paragraph, line 4, after the closed parentheses, I know there's a period after the et cetera, but that's for the et cetera. Doesn't there need to be a period after the parentheses?
Yes, Mike, yes. Yes. There needs to be a period there. This is a new board member test, and you completely passed.
Yeah.
We left that out just to see if you were paying attention.
Yeah, good.
I don't think those sentences have double spaces after them, just FYI, since we're.
I-
Don't bring that up. What are you trying to do?
what are you-
You're gonna have to edit every document now for that.
You know, there are
Oh,
times when I
man.
just let it go as long as there's consistency.
But you have to, that looks goofy though. The et cetera, period,
Yep, too
hyphen,
bad.
I know.
or
It
not
does.
hyphen, parenthesis, whatever that
Too bad,
is.
so sad.
You think this looks goofy? You should see the old one.
All right.
Okay, motiony, somebody? Help?
Wait, is
Just-
that F bolded on 4, or is that just my eyesight going?
Oh,
Okay, no one else saw it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Krista, where'd you go?
right
I'm
here.
I'll make a motion that we accept the chiropractic assistance training log, as amended.
Yeah.
Or, did we amend it?
Yeah, we amended
did.
it.
Oh, yeah, we did. Okay, sorry. As amended.
Scott, you got your second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, Karen,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Corey,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
I for myself, motion carries.
So this will look familiar to you because it's the same format as our other the CA resources review, and that's purposeful because we wanted to have them consistent and to not provide additional kind of recommendations by the board other than what you see.
Oh, and it has a dash in there.
Yes, it does.
Come on, Heather.
So embarrassing. You know, it's good practice for Krista, though. So you're welcome.
True. And it's not a
gonna shoot me.
PDA, so.
No Cairo credit on this one.
I took this list from the list we had, there was before. So
Mm.
we can
Do we
add
wanna
that
add
if we want.
They have lots.
Yeah,
Okay.
why don't we add it?
Am I doing this right? Cairo credit?
So Cairo credit from it's on the training
GA.
resources that we just went over. Okay. Do we want to also add that you can research whatever it was that we had in the last one? The Google search terminology?
Yes.
For some reason, I thought that we have gone over what the resources were. But I'm sorry. Is this still just for CAs or is this for everyone?
No, this is for everyone.
Well, so yeah,
Because in the past, go ahead.
well, the other one was such a specific Google search, like where this one is so general.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's
So-
true. Okay, we don't
So I
need
just
it.
remember it being that you guys had voted to remove a lot of it and just leave the OHA, the OCA, UWS, and PACE. And that was voted on a different meeting. And that's what the update is on our website. So I can't remember what meeting it was on, but we had removed a lot of these from that. But, I mean, we can put it back on. It's helpful. I mean, I refer a lot of people to Cairo Credit, even though it's not on our website.
Yeah, I think it'd be worth adding on.
Okay.
Okay. Someone give me a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the OBC online continuing, thank you, continuing education resources as amended.
I second. There you go.
Hey,
Second,
Mike. Here we
Hey.
go.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, Karen,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Corey,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Micah,
I,
an aye for myself. Motion carries. Scott, are you just trying to see like how fast you can take a drink before I call on you for a vote?
Yes.
That's passive aggressive behavior. I don't know. I'm making it up. But you
Okay.
guys
All right.
need to liven up a little. Just FYI, liven up.
All right. Oops. So for this, you may recognize our board retreat and work plan priorities from our 2023 in May when we were in wherever we were. Pendleton.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago. And these have been updated. So you'll see, what the status was and is. I needed, when you're seeing kind of need clarification. So what we didn't do during that meeting, if you remember, we kind of went through these topics and the board and staff voted on what we considered short-term and long-term, but we didn't go into all the detail as to what it would mean to be addressing financial and elder abuse or what it would mean to address the sexual misconduct. And so when you see, I need clarification on that, that's what that means is, okay, we have this as a status, but what do you want me to do about the financial and elder abuse or the sexual misconduct? They are important, clearly, to the board and staff, but I just need a clarification as to what exactly we wanted to do. That's where I was with those. When you're seeing no action, it's because there's just been no action. We just haven't had the time or human resources available to focus on them. And so at our next board retreat, so, ideally we would have had another one this year. So historically, we've had board retreats every January of odd numbered years right before legislative session. So we had, our active, our action plan ready for the session. But we didn't get there and our budget doesn't really allow for in-person meetings right now. But what you're seeing here will be very similar to our next board retreat and what topics we want to cover and focus on. And so that's what you're seeing down here below, that you have outcomes and goals by topic. I just didn't fill this out because we didn't have all that detail fleshed out within that meeting. So I just left that blank, but I just wanted to leave the template just so that we had it for future meetings. Chrissy, you can scroll up because there's no data down there. It's just, yeah. So anyway, here's our status. And I think we really did address a lot of what our work plan was. If you want to scroll down a little bit, Krista. So hold on just a sec, too far. There we go. So for the allowed, not allowed list, this was, what was in scope. We had the PMP subcommittee and we're almost finished reviewing the PMP. Medical marijuana, that was an old one that we already have a 2019 policy. UWS teaching to scope. We have a new president at UWS from starting last year. And UWS was an active partner and still is an active partner in our PMP committee. And there's our PMP review. Go scroll down. Student background checks in clinic, UWS takes care of that. Minor surgery and proctology and OB-GYN, exam review and ethics jurisprudence. We are working with NBCE right now to do, so that PMP committee has become our exam review committee, and NBCE has all of our test questions, and they're appropriately protective of releasing the test questions. So they're going to enable us to review them in a platform that's secure for that committee to review. They're not going to give us hard copy. They're not going to provide us, any kind of email with that. It's going to be purely a secured platform. So they're working on us access. I just need to provide NBCE the email addresses of all of our committee members. And so that's why I was waiting for today, so I could have a liaison from the board to be included in that. But we will start on those review.
Karen.
Go ahead, Heather.
Oh, I just said
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah, Karen. CA study guide, we just did all those things. CE list update. I think we already did that with our online CE resources. Board member, I know, Karen, this was kind of important to you back in the day, the board member mentorship program. And I haven't followed up on that because we already have a new board member. I didn't actually address this with you, what you thought to implement as a board member mentorship kind of plan.
Well, it was just, I just remember feeling kind of lost for the first, year or two. And, I didn't participate as much in some of the earlier meetings because it was just kind of sitting there and soaking it in and figuring out what's what. And, when I went to my first national meeting and, Glenn was here's who this is and that. And, I didn't even know what FCLB was. And so I just thought it could be helpful if there was, and it kind of went along with orientation materials because there is an orientation, but then one sort of more specific to like the little nuances and details of the board. And so the thought was a board member in their second term would help a newer board member. Like I'll get a text sometimes from Corey. It's like, hey, can you help me with this? And I'm happy to, not to call him out, but I'm happy to send him a text back and answer, and I think that's helpful that we can do that back and forth. And so maybe we don't need an official program like that, but I don't know Mike. And but so like once Michelle's gone, I don't know. Like I don't
You're on your own,
have,
Mike.
Yeah. Good luck. So it was just something that I thought could have been helpful, and maybe he seems incredibly competent and like, he's jumping right in, but maybe somebody that was a little bit more hesitant could help them feel more comfortable earlier on.
No, that sounds good. And
We have
actually,
Seth take that role.
yeah, well, actually, Seth is essentially, I know he's provided some input to Mike already, actually, with that handoff. But for going forward, so we're going to have, Michelle's going to term out at the end of December. We're going to have a new board member appointed then. So of this group, who would like to be that new person's mentor? And frankly, who would like to be Mike's mentor? Because there is that. It is a really good relationship to have. I don't know if we need to have a formal program written up necessarily, but I think the handoff is good, or at least to have a board member buddy that you can text and communicate with.
I also think that was also felt a lot more important at the time because we were doing the flash drives. And so even just the numbering of the items with the agenda, like it took me a few meetings to like figure that out, So within Lumen, and because the public packet is all one document, it's made it a lot easier.
Yeah. That's a good plan.
Public members would, I would have loved to have somebody that I could ask all my dumb questions to. Well, because I know I asked a lot of questions to you, Cass, but I'd always feel bad, because you're busy. And so, and if I could have it now, that would be great.
Well, and that's the thing is, we as staff, we deal with this, 9-10 hours a day, where you guys only deal with this a portion of your world. And so, we welcome any of the questions that you have all the time, and try to be available to you to do that. But as far as kind of a more formalized, grab somebody and get their information, I think it's a really good plan. So, we'll have a new person coming on in starting in January. We have Mike now. And like I told Mike during our orientation session in June, it was like, we're just dumping all this material at you. It may not be at all recognizable until you actually need it. And then you're like, wait, I think you said something about this 3 months ago. What now? What do I do with it? And so the material's there. It's just a matter of, putting it into practice.
It feels like being in the Matrix when they first take what is it, Neo, and he's looking at the ones and zeros running across the page, and they're explaining that is something, and he's like, I don't see it. That's a bit the way that it feels the first day. I do want to in public formally thank Cass, Kristen, Heather for helping me when I was emailing frantically because I couldn't get logged in and I couldn't figure out what papers to sign. And so thank you guys very much for putting up with me.
You're welcome. So anyway, thank you, Karen. And so you can let us know now or whatever, or individually who wants to be considered to be a mentor person, and we can assign you, or you can just do it yourself and reach out to the newbies. But I'll trust that that's available to folks who start. Okay. And then as far as board member orientation materials, we have that updated every single time we have a new board member come on. And Kristen actually was part of Mike's orientation. She has a presentation for us for exec, for some contested case hearing review, and really good updated materials. So that's been done. Board makeup, future possibilities. That was the ABCA conference last summer. When and if budget ever allows us to, I would love to be a consistent vendor and sponsor of ABCA. Not necessarily even if they're in Portland, but around the country, because we've had really good feedback and people interested in coming to Oregon because we were there as our board. It was phenomenal. So I want to keep that on everybody's radar, because it was just, Heather and Craig and I and Micah were there, and it was just such a really good experience for folks. And I know that, we've gotten preceptors that have come back to the state, and people who have transferred schools. So yeah, it was a really good outreach for us. And then the OBC CE program, looking at you, Craig, that's going to be on 27 goal. Down below for agency, the case backlog. I don't know how many cases are right now. We don't have to get really into that. I think earlier in the year we were down to about 52 or so. I'm not sure where it stands. And clearly we're not in a hiring position right now. So we are going to anticipate that backlog increasing. We've gotten our KPMs modified to some degree, with the legislature, with them recognizing that we had to unfund one of our investigators. And so our time frame is going to be backed up. So don't be surprised if that continues to increase. Complaint portal, these are all kind of old things that we've done. Website review and update. Krista is now on board, and we will actually start actively doing that. We thank you, Krista, also for the rulemaking website. So part of the governor's expectation was that we were supposed to have a active calendar and reporting out of our rulemaking. And so now we have a page of our site that is specific to that, with the updated rulemaking actions that are happening. We had a previous version, but it had not been updated in quite a few years. So Heather, did you say something? Oh, okay. Staff training and onboarding. I think this onboarding of Krista, Krista, you can pipe in, but we had to me, it felt like a really good, solid onboarding process, as much as we could do. with the information that we had available to us as far as Krista's predecessor and information. But we had folks lined up from DAS and financial services and EIS and I don't know who else who participated in those couple days of onboarding with Krista. And it was, I don't know, Krista, if you thought of any improvements that could have happened in that onboarding.
No, it was really good, as well as the internal staff at OBCE. I think the only thing that would be helpful in onboarding is having the training documents available. Like having me create those now, or Heather's, for other people to create those to hand down to the next person.
Yeah, so like a desk manual or whatever. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. And that was supposed to be happening, and that just didn't happen. I'm just taking notes. Desk manual for each position. Okay. That's a great suggestion. And that goes along with the succession planning for all staff. And Inlumen rollout, amazing how it's still here and still being implemented. PRC onboarding. Miriam, is there hasn't been any new members for PRC recently, has there?
No, we do not have.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have to adjust kind of that onboarding process when it happens. And we'll go from there. But think about this, topics for 25, 27, like I said, I would love to have a board retreat, but I'm not sure exactly when that's going to happen. And so it's really up to you all if we wanted to do a virtual board retreat as part of one of our meetings in 2026 or not. So I'll leave that to you to have that discussion. What do you think?
Wait, right now?
I think the question before the board is, one, if you want to have a virtual retreat, and two, if you do, when we should have it as part of our board meeting. Oh, and the next question too, related, and maybe we'll just address this in October, is, October will be creating our calendar for 2026 if we want to go back to having 6 meetings a year. And I would posit that we do, but I will leave that to October's conversation. And if we do have 6 meetings a year, then one of those meetings could be specifically a board retreat.
I like that idea, because doing a retreat online is really hard. Sorry, I guess I like the idea of doing it in the next, what'd you say, 2027 and skipping 26?
Yeah.
But do you feel like you have stuff to do where you don't need our assistance to help?
I think we have plenty to keep us busy. With Inlumen and, well, frankly, with just Inlumen right now, it's taking up a whole lot of resources and timing, and just, it's been amazing. And so we don't necessarily need to have a board retreat for 2026, especially if it's going to be virtual. And by then, by kind of mid-year next year, we'll have a better sense on where the budget is and, the projected revenue versus actuals. So then we can determine that. But so maybe I'll just put it out for 2027 as possible January 2027 retreat.
That would be my preference.
Okay. Does that happen to
I'm
be when you're off the board, Lori?
I was
we might be,
and I
Lori.
can't remember. I love that Post-it. I often use the Post-it stuff we did in my own personal retreats.
Awesome.
So.
I won't be here, but they're so much more productive in person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to do a trust fall in virtual.
Or searching for gnomes or whatever they were.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Gnomes.
That was such a good night.
That was fun.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit more in October as far as that schedule and calendar setting. So that's pretty much it for our board work plan. I think we've done a lot, and we've done more over the last 2 years than we thought we would, frankly. We got a lot done. Okay. That's it for that document.
So we have one left on the work session, board action summary review.
So I believe this document, last time it was updated was in 2015, maybe. It may be dated on the bottom. So this is really for new board members, but also as a reminder for what we do and really if things have changed. So the one thing that I know has changed since that first review, and I think, can you look down the bottom, Krista? What is the date on there? Is it 2015? Yeah, February of 20. So more than 10 and a half years ago. That's crazy. The agreements of voluntary compliance, we no longer do. And that is because they were not, at the time when we were implementing them, they were not considered disciplinary action, but they were reported to NPDB. And so there was some unanticipated insurance panel ramifications that the board did not want to have happen to folks. So we no longer implemented the AVCs. So the question for you is, do you want to keep it on here, or do we want to just delete it, or do we want to make a note that this is historic and we no longer utilize?
Let's update it, remove it.
Yeah, why? Is there any reason we would need to keep it?
No. Mm-mm.
And then we can change the revision date.
Slash it.
The only thing that I might, and I haven't been here long enough to have an opinion here, but just to bring up a point.
Yeah.
Once you remove something, it's always harder to bring it back. And so if you put a sub note that says, this isn't used currently, then it's easier to potentially bring it back. I mean, who knows what the landscape's going to look like in 15 years. I'm building an argument to the counterpoint, but just for the sake of having one.
The other thought that I was having too is that we are currently going through lists of actually historic documents that have been part of our public record, and like things that I don't recognize that were prior to my tenure, titled things that I had no idea what these things were. And so it may be helpful, to your point, Mike, to keep it on here so that future iterations of staff and board can know that, yes, this was used from, back in the day. We stopped, and I don't even remember when we stopped. I think we stopped using this, the ABC, in probably 2017. I mean, it wasn't used very long after I started.
Can we make it its own little box, like no longer used?
Yeah, that'd be great. That's a good idea.
Or change it to one of Heather's preferred fonts.
Yeah, I think it's worthy of a Comic Sans.
Yeah.
And we could provide the reasoning too, because I think it's important to have the reasoning of why. Okay, so as far as the other pieces, case closed, we use no statutory violation, insufficient evidence, letter of concern, and CCCs. We use all of them still, because they're all not public and non-disciplinary. Okay, so disciplinary actions. Probation, we generally don't use either, because it's kind of a hardship on staff to track what their probationary thing is. And then kind of, it doesn't mean a whole lot. Usually it's, it's almost a negotiating tool. I think it's worth still keeping, but I just wanted to let everybody know that not often used. Suspension, revocation, voluntary surrender. I think these are all still used. CE. So why do we have under testing? We have billing, coding, chart noting, clinical justification. Why do we have that? Because that's not testing, right?
No.
No,
Yeah.
that's not.
I would delete all of those things.
What is testing?
Well, for EBOS and ethics and jurisprudence and ProB for assessments. So maybe that's the better word, assessments.
Should we add spec?
Yes.
They're competency exams. So
Thank you.
it
Yes,
could-
there are psychosexual and psychological competency.
What am I adding here? Specs? Is that what
Spec.
somebody said?
spec.
Yeah.
Like
SPEC.
SPEC.
Find out what it means. Sorry.
And then also, I would say comma, Krista, and then competency exams, just generally.
No.
What determines if like continuing education or restitution is reported or not to the data bank? Since I say can be reported, does that mean we don't always, or?
We don't always for CE, because if it's part of a CCC, that's a non-disciplinary action. But if it's part of a notice of proposed discipline in public, then it would be reportable.
Same with the other ones then.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And if there's any kind of fine associated, that's reportable and public.
We don't do mentoring.
I was gonna say, we don't do mentoring. We don't do counseling.
We have required people to.
Yeah, that's true. Therapy and counseling, that's true. So you could just delete mentoring out of here, Krista.
Community service.
Community service? What is,
Yeah, that was back in the day. Go on, Lori.
Oh, I thought we did have a case where there is mentoring, but maybe we didn't use the word mentoring.
No, we do have a case with mentoring that we
Yeah.
did.
It's old.
It's old,
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know. Okay.
but we do not implement it anymore. Yeah.
Is this another one like where do we want to put these in that new box we're creating of no longer used? Or
Yes.
just get rid of these? Okay.
Yeah, no, mentoring should be included in the no longer utilized.
We have a public comment from Rebecca saying there are cases with mentoring.
Yeah, historic cases. Yep. Community service, this was something that Frank had wanted to implement, and I, for that matter, I think this was 2017. Well, it was in 2015. The idea that, docs could do something in lieu of fines or other type of CE or anything like that, and it just didn't really take off. We've never implemented it. We don't really have any cases that involve community service, so I would just delete that section. Oh, and chaperones is also going to be removed to the no longer utilized. And I'm sorry, I was getting mentors and chaperones mixed up. So we do have a current or relatively current case that has supervision, not mentoring, but supervision involved. but chaperones is ancient history.
We don't have one.
We have one. That's what I'm saying. But it's
Oh.
historic. And restitution is usually referred to in the criminal context. I think I can
Yeah.
only think of one case that we've had the chiropractor pay the victim something.
There was a couple.
I
I
can
feel like
think of one.
there was, yeah, an elder
Mhm. Yeah.
financial abuse
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Board
like
interview.
a product.
Right. Yeah. Limit practice. What have we done for limiting practice?
We had the one doctor with the drug abuse issue.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay. I just couldn't remember. I think those were the only changes that I'd make to that.
You scroll up just a little bit, Krista? Or no. I just wanted to see that CE section on the disciplinary, under the disciplinary. Oh, okay. Just double checking that it was still there. Thanks.
Okay.
And these hard to go into the board orientation packet. I'm like,
Yeah.
I still use mine. They're
Yep.
like my, yeah, I'm like, I love
Your
them.
hard copy.
Oh yeah, and I've got my own personal notes on them and NOPD. That's because that took me forever. I think I texted Karen multiple times. Like,
Krista, I
what's
think you can go-
NOPD mean? What is
You can-
NOPD mean?
You can go to either its design or layout and close header and footer.
I think she's trying to revise the revision date.
My page is so big. Yeah, I'll go back and I'll get the header and footer off. I mean,
Okay. So can we get a vote on this new revised? So apparently we are doing this every 10 years, people, whether you like it or not.
I make a motion that we accept the board action summary documents as amended.
Second.
God.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, Karen,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Corey,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Lori,
Aye.
Micah,
I
aye for myself, motion carries.
All right. I think that does it for our public agenda.
Look at that.
Look at us go. So do we want to start on exec or do we want to stop for today or what do we want to do?
What do you guys want to do?
I'm fine with pushing on. This is I have some important things going on this evening at about 5 o'clock. But I can push on until then.
We have a public comment from Rebecca.
Thanks.
It says, thanks, everyone. Have a good afternoon.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you,
Take care.
Rebecca.
Do you think we'll get done with, if we started tomorrow, will we get done?
Oh, I think so.
Well, and Cass, I don't know if I get a vote, but I won't be here tomorrow if we're going over any of the case stuff where you want me investigator input.
Gotcha. Then let's jump in, Michelle, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And we'll do the all the other stuff. So yeah, let's just get into exec closeout public for now.
Okay, do you need
You
to
need to
let
redo the whole
Kristen
thing.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let her know if you want to read your thing.
Okay. The Oregon Board of Chiropractic Examiners will now meet in executive session to consider information or records that are exempt from public inspection, including advice from legal counsel, and to consider information obtained as part of an investigation into licensee or applicant conduct. This executive session is held pursuant to ORS 192.660L, ORS 192.6602 F and L, ORS 678126, ORS 676165, and ORS 676.175L. Members of the news media may remain during executive session, but are directed not to report on, record, or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or information discussed during the executive session. If you are a member of the public, attendees attending through Microsoft Teams will now be removed from the virtual room, and audience members attending in person are asked to leave the room for the duration of executive session. At the end of the executive session, the board will return to public session for the purpose of taking formal action on matters discussed in executive session. While the board is in public session, the public video stream will be available. If there are any questions about whether the board remains in executive session, you may contact info@obce.oregon.gov.
All right, see you in exec.